everybody knows that in order to have a perfect outfit, you have to have your perfect fragrance. But what if you found out that your perfect fragrance had animals in it? I remember a couple years ago, I was going to a store and I was looking for my perfect fragrance, and I just happened to like musk. They informed me that it was made from the sperm of a whale. And you girls who are out there rocking Chanel No. 5, please note that it's been found that there are animal secretions in that too. As a plant eater or a vegan, whatever you claim you are, it's important for you to know what you're putting on your body as well as what you're putting in your body. So I have a couple of tips when you're looking for your signature fragrance. Number one, if you girls like that floral scent, 9 times out of 10 it was made from the civet, which is an African cat also found in Asia. And for us who love the musk of it all, those are made from the glands of deers, which is one of the reasons why the population is so low. And one more, ambergris. Now, although it's no longer being used, that was made from the sperm of a whale. Doesn't smell so good, does it? What can I say? The more you know, the more you grow. I'm Angela Yvonne, and this is Vegan Pop Eats. My birthday, and what better way than to present myself in this year of luxury than to make my own fragrance. I am here at Olfactory at 281 Mott Street, where they give you the experience of a lifetime, where you can customize your own fragrance. They have worked with the top perfumers in the whole world, and they have put it all here where you can go and just luxuriate in smelling good. I can't wait to show you this experience. JJ, I'm so excited that you are letting us here at Olfactory, and it's my birthday, so you know this is the perfect place to start my year of luxury. JJ, thank you so much for letting Vegan Pop Eats be here.
Of course, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Olfactory NYC.
I'm so excited. I've heard so much about this, and I'm so excited to learn more about what goes into making custom fragrances. So walk me through what happens when I come into Olfactory as a regular person, because I'm no longer regular because it's my birthday.
Yeah, so Olfactory NYC, the whole idea here is, on top of the idea of us having, only the highest quality ingredients, and I know we'll get into that later, but we wanted to the high quality ingredients. We wanted to work with some of the world's top perfumers. But the main thing, the biggest attraction here, is you also get to add your own personal touch. Yes. And that's through this customization process. For us, we wanted to make fragrance, fine fragrance, luxury fragrance, the art of these top perfumers, fun, interactive, accessible, and that's how we that's through the customization process. So the way that works is you start with one of our original core scents that are on this wall. And then once you've picked your favorite 1 or 2 from there, we'll build off them in the next step, and that's how we find your custom blend in the next step.
Okay, well, I'm right here at Riley, and tell me about what these things here on the wall are. Like, walk me through this. Like, where did you come up with the name of Riley, or what is the process of choosing the names of the foundation scents?
Yeah, I mean, people always ask about like what the names mean. The names kind of reflect the sort of core scent personality that we have of these original core scents. But the whole idea is that, at the end of it, you're building off that and creating your own personality. And then the final bottle has your name on it because it reflects your personality and it's been more adapted to suit you. So Riley is how we start. We start with the personality of Riley, which is sort of this warm hazelnut, vanilla, sandalwood, delicious. Yeah, so it's just on the pointy end there, but yeah, it's sort of like you're getting a lot of these warm, rich, delicious vanilla notes mixed with these hazelnuts and sandalwood. That gives a nice depth as well. But yeah, I mean, as you can tell, the perfumer behind this, we sort of try to reflect, as I said before, we're really trying to bring the art of these top perfumers and make it more accessible. So we profile a little bit about the perfumer here, talk about some of the other scents she's made. So as you can see here by some of the designer brands, she's one of the top perfumers in the world, and all the perfumers we'll meet are some of the top perfumers. And then these are more about the ingredients and the other things you can get in Riley as well.
Oh, okay. I think Riley might. I'm not going to choose you first, Riley. I'm not going to choose you first, Riley, but. And I love the name Riley. That just seems so.
It's like a little quirky, fun, delicious. Yeah.
I'm quirky. I'm fun. Okay. So right now we're here at Blake. And I see that Blake has hints of Irish, musk, geranium, hydrangea. Did I say that right? Hydrangea, jasmine, lily of the valley, and cedarwood and incense. But when you're building these custom fragrances, how do you know what is going to mix with your pheromones?
Your own body oils?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's why, and we'll get into this a little bit in terms of at the end of the custom process. The process, we try to design this process so that it's not so intimidating, where like you're starting from scratch and you've got to smell a ton of different things, and like, what does vetiver smell like? I don't know. We try to make it a little more simple, and that's why we start here. Then you find one or two of these you like the most. We'll show you different versions of those still in the papers. At the end of that, once you found your favorites of those different versions, you try those directly in your skin. That's super important. This is good to raise it. You have to try your favorites directly in your skin. We try them in different places because they will change on your skin. And you want to also just make sure they sit right on you. Different scents. Your skin doesn't just change it like once. Your skin may have a different reaction to the same fragrance at different times of the day, different times of the year. Different like hormones and all that affect it too. So it's super important to see how things smell on you. That's also why people like to have different scents for different times of the year and things like that.
Absolutely. But now I've been reading a lot about fragrances, because when you cross over to plant-based living or vegan living, you're wanting to get as close as the lifestyle as you possibly can without animals being harmed. How was it important that when you began Olfactory that you didn't use any of products that possibly could have animals in it?
Well, beyond the fact that I find it like a little bit honestly gross to have like keep spraying like animal products on the skin, fragrance has this history with frankly animal cruelty. It has a history of exploiting animals in different ways, and I just feel like that doesn't fit in the modern ecosystem of in terms of like consumer behavior. I certainly don't want to wear something that was part of an animal in the past. And I also just feel like our customer and today's world, like there's just no place for that. And so I think we spoke a little bit about before we started rolling, but about but how there's sometimes a little bit of a trade-off between all natural and being vegan and cruelty-free, because there are some ingredients that naturally occur in animals, and so when you want to use that, but you don't want to use it from an animal, they have to be designed in a lab, and they're designed by these perfumers at the molecular level to replicate that scent. But to not be from that. And so that's where perfumery differs a little bit from skincare, where there's a really big trend to all natural and all that kind of thing. In perfumery, the synthetics are not really they're these designed molecules specifically to replicate fragrance, and frankly, they're the most expensive part.
So when you are choosing the perfumer, what made these particular ones so special? Because there's so many fragrances all over the place. What was the number one reason that she was chose.
Yeah. So for sure. So Honorine, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the you know, as you yes, there are tons of fragrances, obviously, all over the world. But actually, weirdly enough, you'll find that there's actually not that many top perfumers.
Oh.
There are, you know, there's 50 or so master perfumers who've created almost everything you smell, are created by some of these. There's like 2 or 3 fragrance houses where these master perfumers work, and they've created almost everything you've ever smelled. And that includes detergents, things like that. They're the ones who create these fragrances. The ones that we work with, they're some of the best in the industry. They've trained for 30 years. You know, this is more than just art, it's also a science. So together they have to work really hard to get to the point where they can create this high level of fragrance. So yeah, I mean, you can see some of the other creations that these perfumers have created. For instance, Harry here, he created, you know, CK1 by Calvin Klein.
That was my first fragrance.
Yeah, it's a super popular fragrance. Yeah, I mean, one of the most popular fragrances of all time.
Ooh, Tom Ford. You know the girls love Tom Ford.
Yeah, and he sounded, so he, yeah, I mean, but he's one of these, the most, he's actually retired now, but, you know, premier perfumer, master perfumer. But for him, you know, Calvin Klein, CK1 hasn't changed much over the years. It's not a big creative endeavor for him anymore. Like, you know, they change a little bit on the sides here and there. They create different versions. But with a brand like us, we get to work with him and create something maybe completely different, something that is one of his newer projects that other brands might not want to take the risk on because it's, but it's a little bit more creative, whereas it's not you know, the stable sort of cash cow of some of these other brands have, like CK1. So yeah, I mean when we're working with these perfumers, we think a little bit about the stuff that they tend to work well with, the ingredients they tend to work well with, but really we're focused on the fragrances that they come out with. These sampling tons of different fragrances, trying to figure out what would make a great core scent, but also thinking about how can we build off that? How can we customize it? How can we make it something great? Because we want people to start with something beautiful, but add their own personal touch on top.
Well, I'm super excited to get started.
Yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Yeah, so as I said before, you know, the first step is picking your favorite 1 or 2 from along here scents, and then what happens from there is we don't mix those 2 together. If you pick 2, we build off them, and so you're going to see how we're going to add different accords of strands of ingredients that we add on top of the core scent to kind of take it in a few different directions, and you'll see how it changes it and makes it your own personal fragrance.
So I'm excited. Yes, I'm ready. Okay, JJ, I have chosen my foundation fragrances, and they're going to be Dylan and Riley, because Riley was that girl. That was that girl. So what do we have to do next? I'm so excited.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So you chose the Dylan and the Riley.
Yes.
And then so the next step we're going to do is we're going to build off the Dylan and the Riley separately. So we're not going to mix them together. As I said before, we're going to show you different ways where we can build off the original scent. And so Dylan, as you remember, was this sort of apples, lychees, black currants, really fresh fruits, but these dark fruits too. This first version of the Dylan you're going to smell is where we've added this accord that's going to boost out some of those lighter fresh fruits. So this one's going to be a little more of those appley notes.
And it's right here at the tip?
It's just at the tip, yeah. So you see this is more of those apple notes, really fresh, green.
And this is Dylan.
Started with the Dylan and we added to it. We boosted out some of these.
Okay. Dylan's looking like a cousin, like.
And then as a good contrast, you'll see this next one here is kind of where we've gone the other direction. Boosted some of those darker fruits now.
Okay.
So this is a little more of a nighttime version of Dylan. You can see that here.
And I learned something. He said to smell your skin so you can cleanse your nose. But before I get into this, What about these? Because I see these everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. So we have those because obviously people are familiar with coffee. Coffee beans as a way to sort of cleanse your nose palate. You know, once you've smelled a lot, you know, things start to get a little dulled.
Right.
So you know, a lot of places use coffee beans. Coffee beans is just a really strong scent. We actually prefer it, to smell yourself is a good way to kind of reset. You have your own scent, which works as a good way to sort of cleanse to reset your nose a little bit. Coffee can be a little biasing. It's a very strong scent. It makes the next thing smell a little bit like coffee.
See, you learn something every day. Ooh.
So that's because it's a little more nighttime version of Dylan. So you can see there with those first two that we tried, they're kind of boosting out different parts of the Dylan. First one was a little lighter, fresher, maybe more of a daytime scent, and this next one here, a little more nighttime.
Dylan is sexy. Oh yes.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, so you know you've got a few more to smell.
I'm like, okay.
So yeah, we typically show you different, you know.
So this would be more of a daytime, and this would be more of a nighttime.
Yeah.
And for nighttime, is it more because the fragrance is a little heavier?
It's more because we boosted out some of these darker fruits. We've added some of those woods, which just have more of a nighttime association than some of those lighter fruits. Those like sort of floral notes in there.
Will I mix these up? Oh, you have. Oh,
yeah, so we've written.
He has it.
So the idea is, as we go through these, you'd pick your top up to 4, that we can try directly on your skin, and your favorites there, we'll try. So the favorites we'll try on your skin, and that's the next step.
So I had the task. It was hard, but I chose my top 3. Okay, so what's next?
Yeah, so we've got the 3 here. So these are the top 3. And what I'm going to do then is we're going to drop those directly on your skin. As we said before, it's super important that you try your favorite scents directly on your skin. Often the one that you like the most on the paper isn't eventually the one you like the most on your skin. It will change a little bit. So if you can just give me your wrist, perfect. I'll put this on like this. Now when I put this on, don't rub it, and you're not going to smell it. You're going to let this sit. There. Then again, don't rub it, don't smell it.
Okay.
And then if you can give me your other wrist. Again, let this sit.
And what does this do?
We're trying the scents that you like the most.
Oh, okay.
Directly in your skin. We're going to see how they sit. Now, if you can just flip this one, flip that, flip this wrist.
This way?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
And then we've got one last one to try on you. And again, let this sit. So after I put these on, you're going to let this sit for a minute. It also just gives you a chance for your nose to take a break.
Reset.
Yeah. But because you've been smelling a bunch of stuff, obviously. So while this dries, you can let your nose reset. And the next step is to smell these on your skin. But you can it's best honestly to do that outside. In here,
yes, so much.
A lot going on.
Like if you could bottle the fragrance that's in here in one, it's amazing. It smells amazing in here. Okay, so I'm outside. It's been a few minutes, and we are going to do the smell test. So the first thing that I have to do is that I have to reset my nose. And he said that you smell your skin because won't confuse, I guess, your nose when you're trying to smell the different fragrances. So I'm going to try fragrance number 1. It's cute. I can smell the floral in it. But I think that would be more so of something that I would wear during the daytime, not like an overall fragrance. But you know, it's in the running. Okay. Trying to let some air hit it so it can really like be bold in its fragrance. Okay. Resetting on my arm. Okay. Fragrance number 2. Ooh. Oh. This smells. Oh yeah. This is something sexy. This is. Oh, this is. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Number 2. Fragrance number 2. I'm gonna reset. Okay. I probably need a drum roll because I need all 3 of them actually. Okay. Okay, I take that back. 2 and 3. 3 would be my daytime fragrance, and 2 would be my nighttime fragrance. So let's see how this really comes together. I'm so excited. You guys have to come down to Olfactory because the experience, and who doesn't want a custom fragrance? So I was outside and I chose 2.
2, great. So you got rid of 1, that's good. But obviously the aim is to try and get it down to 1 if you can.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the percent we're going to bottle up.
Oh.
Now we're going to bottle up whichever one you like the most.
Okay.
We'll bottle
Let
it up.
me see.
This first Hunters when I'm in
That one?
2.
Perfect. So that was the Dylan, where what I did was I added to that to the some of those patchouli notes in the Dylan, but also had these sage, these botanical notes in the Dylan. It was one of the first ones I showed you. Really nice.
Yes.
Sort of fresh, but still quite mossy and aquatic. Great. So I'll bottle that up.
Okay.
And then your next step, you're going to be picking the name and the color of the label.
Yes! Exciting! Okay, the color. Ooh. Should I do green? Green is my favorite color. Oh, that's so much. I'll do green because that's what it is. That's what I am.
So she's in green for the label, perfect.
Yes.
So I'll do that. And
Awesome.
then, so I'll get started bottling up and just keep thinking about what you want to call it. So here we are, freshly bottled.
Yes!
Success.
I'm so excited.
Success
What are you
in the
wearing? Success. So how did it go from me deciding my fragrance to this?
Yeah, so as you remember, we started with the Dylan, then we added that accord to that. And here we have all our different blends, different accords. What I did here was I just bottled it up. I made sure that we got the right amount of each, so it matches closely to what you smelled on your wrist. And then we just filled it up with the oils along here, and then just capped a few.
So are those like carrier oils? Is that what they're called when you add to this? Because this went from a drop to a full bottle.
So we call them oils. This is, all the fragrances here. People are familiar with fragrance. These are what's called an eau de parfum, and they're actually on the high end of that in terms of concentration. So that refers to, you may be familiar with eau de toilette, eau de parfum. That refers to the concentration of fragrance that's in the bottle. The more fragrance, like so eau de toilette has very little fragrance, a lot of alcohol and water. Eau de parfum is more fragrance. It's like 10 to 15% of a fragrance versus the alcohol water, and while ours are more than 20%. So these are high concentration. That means that like versus other scents, it's more likely to last longer on your skin, but it might not have that initial like intense pop that an eau de toilette sometimes does have. So that's the idea with the but we have those mixed here, and then we bottle them up fresh.
So are these fragrances just for women? Or
no, not at all. So you know, in fact, the scent that you picked here, because it has those fruits, but also those botanical, mossy, woody notes, it definitely is more of a unisex fragrance. And our scents are all technically unisex, but you will have seen some of them here skew more female and some skew more male. So for instance, the Riley you picked was a little more of a traditionally female scent, the sweeter vanillas, but we have these woods and earthy scents as well. We have these leathers and tobaccos as well, which are more traditionally in the masculine side, but these days everyone wears everything. It's to do more with the ingredients.
Absolutely. But with the masculine fragrance, like, is it possible to add the, I guess, the scents that you added to it to make it a more floral verse, or make it more of a heavier scent as well? Since the base is more heavy, can you lighten?
Yeah, we can lighten things up. There are different accords that'll do different things. You know, we can also change the ratios of different accord, like when we're bottling it up. You're smelling it on your wrist like 50-50 effectively, the core scent and the accord that we added, but we can always customize further and change. So it really depends on what level of customization people are familiar with. So different customers have, some people really just want to create something with their name on it, and some people really want to get into the specifics, and we can sort of cater to both. So
we've made this, and if I wanted to, like, for instance, I break the bottle, or for instance, if I want to get more of this, do you keep my, I guess, my recipe on file just in case? So the blends are all saved on file. So yeah, the bottles are quite strong. I doubt that you'll break the bottle, but if you do want to reorder it again in the future, we've saved all your scents in our system. So if you do ever want to get it again, it'll be saved with your email. You can just reorder it online, and a lot of people do that, obviously, once they finish their scent. And one more question. Sure. So say, for instance, I get this and I say, you know, next time I do this, I want to add, you know, something else. So do I come through the whole process again, or you just start from what I have here, and then you can, you know, add or take, well, you can't take it away since it's already there. Well, I mean, when you come back again, if you wanted to play around with your scent and change further, we can certainly do that. Oh, awesome. We'll have what you say, we'll have what you saved on file, as I said, so someone can always look up what you got before and then show you different variations if you do want to go that way. Yeah. Yes, indeed. I'm definitely going to come back, because now I feel extra that I have my own scent, and I know you're going to want to smell like me. But I thank you so much. This was the best birthday ever. The best birthday ever. This is phenomenal. Happy birthday. It's a successful birthday. Ah, yes. Oh, and another thing, if I can, like, say for instance, I'm not here, where is it possible for me to do this in my own home? We do have a process for that. We have an online customization process. It's similar to the process you just did, but it's through sample boxes. So it's actually kind of fun, because you get these little samples of all the different core scents, and then once you've picked your favorite for that, you get like samples of the different versions that we smelled here. So the online is just as fun, and it comes with a little sample box, and you kind of go from there. Yeah. So girls, don't stop it. Don't stop yourself from being special and customized, because you can get it online and it can be sent to your home, and you can smell just like me. Thank you so much, JJ. I really appreciate it. This is phenomenal. Of course, yeah. This is the best. This is the best. And I can box that up for you right now. Oh, thank you so much. So then, and I'm going to just put that in our system for you as well, so we do actually remember it. Oh, awesome! And yeah, I don't know if you want to do. I can put it in a bag. Do you want to do the bag? I can put. Oh, awesome! What can I say? This was the best birthday that I could possibly have had. You have to come down to Olfactory. The customer service, the experience is one of a kind. And to have a fragrance out there where no one else smells like you, what else can you ask for? I'm Angela Yvonne, and remember, if you can't be good to anybody else, make sure that you're good to yourself. Do a little Luxe Day and just be good to yourself. Remember, this is Vegan Pop Eats, where meat is always obsolete. Yes.
So I put that in there for you.
Feeling fancy. Yes.
Of course.
How dope is this? Yes. Thank you so much.
That you try your favorite scents directly on your skin. Often the time the one